Alright, let's dive into the latest from the San Francisco 49ers training camp and unpack everything that's been happening so far. The buzz around camp has been electric, with plenty of eyes on the field as players push themselves to stand out. Data gave us some serious highlights, and the overall vibe is that this might be one of the best camps in recent years for the Niners. Fans and insiders alike have been raving about the energy and performance levels we're seeing, which is exactly what you want when your team is gearing up for a big season. One of the biggest stories coming out of camp is the emergence of Brock Purdy. He's really showing signs that he's back to the player we saw earlier in his career, not the version who struggled last year amid the team's offensive injuries. On data, Purdy was nearly flawless, completing 13 out of 14 passes, demonstrating quick decision-making and sharp accuracy. It's clear that with key players like Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey on the field, he feels much more comfortable. Shanahan's offense demands a lot from the quarterback, especially when it comes to spreading the ball around and hitting receivers in stride. And Purdy seems to be embracing that role perfectly. His connection with George Kittle is looking sharp, with 2 long, precise passes that left the defense scrambling. That bond between Purdy and Kittle could be a huge factor this season, especially considering the uncertainty at wide receiver. Speaking of wide receivers, the position is one of the biggest question marks for the 49ers right now. The team lost a star in Deebo Samuel, and the current crop of receivers needs to step up big time. Among the young players trying to make their mark is Isaiah Hodgins, an undrafted free agent out of Nebraska, who's been turning heads with his size, speed, and physicality. At 6 feet 4 inches and around 120 pounds, Hodgins has the build that NFL coaches dream of, and he runs an impressive 4.4 flat in the 40-yard dash. His athletic testing scores are nearly perfect, showing off explosiveness and great leaping ability. What's surprising about Hodgins is that despite his obvious talent, his college stats don't reflect his potential. He only had 2 seasons with double-digit catches, which raises questions about how his skills will translate at the pro level. However, his performances in camp, including a jaw-dropping contested catch on a deep ball from M. John East, have been enough to earn praise from teammates and coaches alike. He's a player to watch as the preseason unfolds. Now talking about M. Jones, the former Alabama quarterback who came to San Francisco after stints with the Patriots and Jaguars, he's definitely the guy generating a lot of excitement. He wasn't the initial first choice back in the 2021 draft. Kyle Shanahan had to make a tough call between him and Trey Lance. Since then, Jones has quietly improved, and his progression this offseason has been notable. He's not a flashy dual-threat quarterback, rather he's more of a classic pocket passer, known for his quick decision-making and ability to distribute the ball efficiently, fitting Shanahan's scheme well. Throughout camp, Jones has flashed the kind of accuracy and arm strength that make him a reliable backup option, with the potential to challenge for more if he keeps building confidence. His rookie season showed promise when he earned a Pro Bowl nod, and if he recaptures that form, he could be an underrated asset for the team. On the defensive side, there's a mix of excitement and concern. The defensive line looks solid, especially with the arrival of rookie Mike Williams from Georgia. Williams has already impressed by bulldozing through top offensive linemen during practice and showing versatility, lining up both at defensive end and tackle. Trent Williams, one of the best defensive tackles in the league and a future Hall of Famer, even compared Mike's power and size to that of DeForest Buckner, which is no small compliment. The 49ers desperately needed a boost on the defensive front, and if Mike Williams can live up to expectations, he could be a game-changer this season. The defensive line's ability to generate pressure is crucial, especially with some questions looming over the secondary. The secondary is definitely a concern heading into the season. The team is thin on cornerbacks and safeties, and the margin for error is slim. Injuries could hit this group hard, and right now it looks like the 49ers are relying heavily on rookies and players who have yet to prove themselves fully. Upton Stout, a 3rd-round pick out of Western Kentucky, has shown promise with his quickness and coverage skills, and he could earn a starting role in the slot. However, beyond him, depth is shallow, and key players like Renardo Green and Diamador Leonard need to stay healthy to keep the defense stable. The safety spot is wide open as well, with competition heating up and no clear frontrunner emerging yet. Injuries have impacted some players like Malik Willis, who's recovering from an ACL tear, leaving the door open for others to step in. Back on offense, Christian McCaffrey is drawing plenty of attention with his health and explosiveness. After a brutal 2020 season plagued by Achilles tendonitis and a knee injury, McCaffrey looks sharp-eyed and camp, moving with the same quickness and agility that made him one of the league's best offensive weapons. If he can stay healthy, his presence will be a massive boost to the 49ers attack, providing versatility in the running game and as a receiver out of the backfield. His ability to protect the quarterback and create mismatches is vital for Shanahan's offense to thrive. The running back room beyond McCaffrey is also shaping up well, with Jordan James turning heads as a physical runner with excellent contact balance. Corey Kiner and Patrick Taylor add depth and special teams value, making this position group one of the stronger spots on the roster. Injuries continue to be a storyline, but there are positive signs emerging as well. Brandon Ayuk has been spotted running light routes in practice, which is encouraging for a player who missed time last season. Seeing him back on the field and participating in drills is a good omen for the offense, especially since the wide receiver corps needs every weapon it can get. The camaraderie and energy around the team are evident, highlighted by moments like the exchange between Ayuk and Jawin Jennings during a stretching session, where their chemistry on and off the field seems strong. Fred Warner remains the defensive leader, showcasing why he's considered one of the best off-ball linebackers in the game and a future Hall of Famer. Despite battling a broken ankle last season, Warner's impact on the defense was undeniable. This year, with a contract extension in place and his veteran presence guiding younger players like Dre Greenlaw, Warner's leadership could be a cornerstone for the defense's success. Greenlaw himself appears ready for a breakout year entering his third season, with an opportunity to solidify his role alongside Warner. All in all, the San Francisco 49ers training camp is shaping up to be an exciting chapter as the team looks to rebound and make a strong push in the upcoming season. There's a mix of promising young talent, returning stars ready to bounce back, and fresh faces aiming to make a mark. The key will be maintaining health and consistency as the weeks go on, but the foundation being laid right now is definitely one to watch closely. As the days progress at the 49ers training camp, the intensity on the practice field continues to rise, with players ramping up their efforts and coaches dialing in on finer details. The team's preparation is not only physical but heavily mental, with film sessions and strategy meetings shaping how they will execute Shanahan's complex offensive and defensive schemes. There is a clear sense of urgency throughout the roster, given the high expectations that accompany a franchise with a recent history of deep playoff runs and a Super Bowl appearance just a few years ago. One of the more subtle yet significant aspects of this camp has been the continued development of the offensive line beyond the headline names like Trent Williams. While Williams remains a pillar of strength and technique, younger linemen such as Spencer Burford and Zach Tom have been quietly earning praise for their improvement and adaptability. The offensive line is the backbone of Shanahan's offense, crucial in creating running lanes for McCaffrey and protecting Purdy and Jones in the pocket. Coach Mike McDaniel, known for his meticulous approach, has been working closely with these players to ensure they understand the nuances of blocking schemes, particularly the outside zone runs and play-action passes that define the 49ers attack. The cohesion of this unit will likely be a determining factor in how effective the offense can be over the season. Meanwhile, the wide receiver room remains a major focus for the coaching staff, given the departures and injuries that have reshaped it. Jawin Jennings, who has taken on more responsibility, has been showing flashes of the speed and agility that made him a valuable contributor last season. His route running and ability to gain yards after the catch are critical assets for Purdy and Jones as they look to stretch defenses. At the same time, younger players such as Trent McDuffie and Malik Turner are pushing to earn playing time, bringing a mix of speed and physicality that could diversify the offense's weapons. The challenge lies in building consistent chemistry between quarterbacks and receivers, a process that takes time and repeated reps in practice. Shanahan and his offensive coordinators are keenly aware that the success of their passing game hinges on these relationships blossoming early. On the defensive side, the linebacker corps is receiving much attention as well. Besides Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, the team has brought in some fresh faces through the draft and free agency who are eager to contribute. Players like Devin Lloyd have impressed with their tackling ability and instinct for the ball, showing promise as potential special team standouts or rotational defenders. The linebackers serve as the glue in the 49ers defensive scheme, tasked with covering tight ends, stopping the run, and sometimes blitzing the quarterback. Their versatility is crucial to the team's defensive identity, which emphasizes speed, aggression, and adaptability. Coaches have been emphasizing communication among the linebackers and secondary to ensure that coverage assignments are executed flawlessly, particularly against dynamic offenses the 49ers will face. Throughout the season, special teams, often an overlooked aspect of football, has seen its own share of intense competition. The kicking game, led by veteran Robbie Gould, continues to be a reliable weapon for the team, providing stability in close games. Punter Mitch Wishnowsky has been working on improving his hang time and directional kicking, which are vital in controlling field position. Return specialists like Elijah Mitchell and Deebo Samuel's replacements are battling it out to make an impact as the 49ers seek to maximize every opportunity to shift momentum. Coaches have stressed the importance of special teams discipline and execution, recognizing that games can be won or lost in this phase. The physicality and speed displayed during kickoff and punt coverage units suggest that this group could be a strength heading into the season. As the camp continues, the mental aspect of the game has become a central theme for the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan, known for his strategic mind, has been focusing on preparing his players for the chess match that is NFL game planning. This means honing their ability to read defenses and offenses, pre-snap, anticipate adjustments, and execute plays with precision under pressure. The quarterback room especially has been involved in extensive film study, breaking down opponent tendencies and learning how to exploit weaknesses. This intellectual preparation is particularly important given the complexity of the 49ers offense, which relies heavily on timing and precision. The coaching staff has also emphasized the importance of leadership within the locker room. Veterans like Fred Warner and Trent Williams have taken on mentorship roles, guiding younger players through the challenges of the NFL grind and helping foster a culture of accountability and resilience. This leadership is vital not only for on-field performance but also for maintaining team morale during the inevitable ups and downs of a long season. The balance between competition and camaraderie is carefully managed to ensure that every player is motivated but also feels supported. Meanwhile, the issue of injuries remains a concern, with several players battling minor ailments as the physical toll of camp mounts. The medical staff has been proactive in managing workloads to prevent overuse injuries, especially among key players like McCaffrey and Purdy, whose health is paramount to the team's success. Recovery protocols, including ice baths, physical therapy, and rest periods, have been integrated into daily routines to keep players in optimal condition. The coaching and training staff recognize that managing health over the course of the season could be the difference between a playoff push and a disappointing outcome. Another layer of complexity for the 49ers this season is the emergence of younger players eager to prove themselves and carve out roles beyond the obvious starters. Camp has been a proving ground for many who might not make the final roster but could be vital contributors on practice squads or in situational packages. These players approach each day with a chip on their shoulder, knowing that every rep could be the difference between making the team or heading home. Their energy and determination have added a dynamic element to practices, pushing veterans to maintain high standards and avoid complacency. Off the field, the 49ers organization has been fostering a strong connection with the community, emphasizing the role players have as ambassadors for the team and the city of San Francisco. Various outreach programs and charitable initiatives have been underway during training camp, helping build goodwill and strengthening the bond between the team and its passionate fan base. This sense of purpose and belonging has been cited by several players as a motivating factor, driving them to perform not just for themselves or their teammates, but for the broader community that supports them. As the preseason games approach, the coaching staff will face tough decisions regarding roster cuts and game day lineups, balancing the need to evaluate talent with the imperative to protect starters from injury requires a delicate approach. Shanahan has expressed confidence in his staff's ability to identify which players are ready to contribute and which may need more time to develop. These early games will also provide an opportunity to test the game plans under real conditions and make adjustments before the regular season kickoff. In summary, the San Francisco 49ers training camp is unfolding as a period of growth, challenge, and opportunity. The combination of established stars, rising young talent, and a dedicated coaching staff sets the stage for what could be a memorable season. While questions remain, particularly around depth and health, the foundation being built through hard work and strategic preparation is solid. Fans have every reason to be optimistic as the team strives to reclaim its place among the NFL's elite. The journey ahead is long, but the spirit within the 49ers camp is strong, and the pursuit of excellence remains the ultimate goal. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are growing louder around the NFL as speculation builds about the future of Christian McCaffrey with the San Francisco 49ers. While nothing is confirmed, sources close to the situation have hinted that the All-Pro running back may be considering or being considered for a move away from the Bay Area. It's a development that, if true, could send shockwaves across the league and drastically reshape the 49ers' offensive strategy heading into the new season. McCaffrey, who joined the 49ers midway through the 2022 season, has been nothing short of electric in Kyle Shanahan's system. His versatility, explosiveness, and football IQ turned him into a key cog in a team that has consistently contended for a Super Bowl since his arrival. However, with the team facing some looming financial decisions and a roster full of stars in need of contract attention, the idea of moving a high-value asset like McCaffrey is not entirely far-fetched. Some insiders suggest the front office is quietly exploring ways to free up cap space and add draft capital, and McCaffrey's name has inevitably surfaced in those discussions. While the 49ers remain tight-lipped, the timing of recent internal restructures and subtle shifts in public messaging have added fuel to the fire. Is it strategic silence, or is there really something brewing behind closed doors? McCaffrey himself has remained professional, offering no indication of discontent. But the NFL is a business first, and even cornerstone players are not immune to change. With younger, cheaper running backs emerging across the league and the 49ers' run-heavy offense potentially evolving, it wouldn't be outlandish to think the team might look to cash in while McCaffrey's value remains sky-high. As training camp approaches, this could be a story to watch. Whether it's smoke without fire or the beginning of a major shift, one thing is certain: the possibility of McCaffrey's departure is a narrative that won't go away quietly. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.